Hey guys, how's it going? It's fair to say that there are a lot of characters in My Hero One's Justice 2, each having their own unique quirks. It's one of the things Biking are really good at doing. Oh, and god tier netcode. But there's some characters whose quirks are more gimmicky than others. So today, we're going to be looking at some characters' gimmicks whose work, and some that don't work. But before we get started, I just want to say, when I say quirks that work, I mean in fighting game terms. All the characters' quirks in game work pretty much exactly like they do in the anime, which is great. But in terms of balance, compared to other characters, there are some that definitely need a rework, because they're either too strong or heavily lacking. Anyway, back to the video. Let's start off with a personal favourite of mine, Mr. Izawa. His gimmick is his quirk Erasure. What this does is, if you're hit by Izawa's Q2, his quirk activates and you lose access to your quirk specials for about 5 seconds or so. So that's your Q1, TQ1, Q2 and TQ2. But is this gimmick good in a fighting game sense? Yes! At first, the sound of an attack that can lock 70% of your moveset sounds terrifying. But Biking have implemented Izawa's quirk in a way that isn't as overpowered as it sounds. For example, after being hit by Izawa's Q2, you can just keep your distance for 5 seconds. You can block the Q2, as long as it's not a red move, which if you hold his Q2 it becomes a red. Or you could use an assist to stall for time until Erasure runs out. So you have a few different options. Overall, this is an amazing implementation of an otherwise overpowered quirk. Next we have someone who is a favourite of a lot of players to fight, and that's Himiko Toga. Her quirk is Transform. This quirk lets Toga transform into an identical copy of the person whose blood she has ingested, but also lets Toga copy the person's quirk too. In My Hero One's Justice 2, the way Toga's quirk is implemented is that she will shoot her needles at you, and if at least one of the 3 needles hits, Toga will start glowing. From this point she can turn into her opponent, and has some of their attack buttons. But is Toga's quirk well implemented into the game? No, because what I didn't mention is that after Toga has transformed into her opponent, she can use their assists whenever she wants, but also she can then use them as assists. Even if Toga is in a combo, they won't combo break and they will just work like they would normally if they were using a combo or in neutral. This wouldn't be so bad if the assist cooldown also applied to transformed Toga, but sadly it doesn't. Meaning that when Toga transforms back, she can simply get you into another combo, use the needles and transform into you again. The reason this isn't a good thing is because essentially this gives Toga unlimited assist usage, and while My Hero One's Justice 2 isn't as reliant on assists as other games like Demon Slayer, they sure do help a lot. A way I feel this could be improved would be to simply give the assists that Transform Toga uses the same cooldown as if they were used by her actual assists, or completely get rid of Toga using her opponent's assists and give her access to the quirk buttons. Next we have everybody's favourite lovable goofball, Denki Kaminari. Denki's quirk is Electrification. This lets him generate and control a certain amount of electricity, but if Denki uses too much, he will get burned out and go into a dumb mode. The way this works in game is that when Denki uses his Q2, he will generate an electric dome around him, and if he holds it long enough, he will become charged up. You can tell when Denki is charged because he will have lightning shooting off his body. While charged up, Denki's combos have a lot more hits to them, and also do a lot more damage. But is this implemented well? Yes! Because while Denki does a lot more damage, he is only in his charged state for roughly 10 seconds or so, depending on how much of his quirk moves you use in combos. And after 10 seconds is up, Denki goes into his dumb mode, leaving him wide open to be attacked. The reason this quirk gimmick works so well is because you can't just go around using Denki's charged mode whenever you want. For example, while in his dumb mode, you can use your assists to protect Denki until dumb mode runs out. Meaning, if your assists aren't ready to be used, and you know you won't be able to beat the opponent in one charge up, it would be foolish to try and activate it. But overall, Denki's gimmick is a great fit for My Hero One's Justice 2. Next on the list, we have a new character who is slowly starting to become more and more of a problem in My Hero 1's Justice 2. That's right, it's Midnight. Her quirk is called Somnambulist. This quirk allows Midnight to create an aroma from her body that puts whoever inhales it to sleep. We've seen Midnight use this many times in the anime, but does this work well in a fighting game? No. The problem is that Midnight's quirk works exactly the same as it does in the anime, which is a problem since she can pretty much use her quirk whenever she wants, regardless if you're defending yourself or not. I've said in previous videos that it can easily be fixed just by making it so that her quirk doesn't affect the opponent on block, but honestly I can't see Viking changing this anytime soon, and currently as of right now, Midnight is the best character in the game, and not for good reasons. And for our last character, we have none other than Red Riot himself, Kirishima. Kirishima's quirk is called Hardening, and it does exactly what it sounds like. This quirk allows Kirishima to harden and sharpen his body, giving him increased strength and durability. In My Hero 1's Justice 2, this does the same thing when using Kirishima's Q1. His hardening activates and gives him super armor. Super armor, for those of you that are unsure, it basically means that he can still attack while being attacked. But does that translate well into My Hero 1's Justice 2? Yes! While at first super armor sounds OP as hell, Viking managed to balance it really well. For example, while Kirishima is in super armor mode, he's a lot slower, meaning you can predict his movements way easier, but also the super armor itself isn't actually that hard to break. You have several options when it comes to this. You can use a yellow attack, you can use an unblockable, or even a plus ultra. It's always fun to fight Kirishima players, because they always make you think while fighting them. So overall, Kirishima's quirk is a really nice addition to the game. And that's it guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you next time.